All right, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Karate Kid is about the recently relocated Daniel LaRusso, who becomes the target of a gang of Cobra Kai dojo students. That makes no sense. You have no idea what Cobra Kai is. What's the Rotten Tomatoes?
Kid keeps falling over on a beach. Decides he's sick of falling over on a beach. Decides to fight kids who made him fall over on the beach. And also fingers Ali with an eye. There you go. It's time for us to bring balance to the podding world. We've had some time away, but we're here, alive and well. Sort of. To discuss why you shouldn't have fights on a beach because you'll keep falling over, to rub your hands together to cure any ailment, and that someone called Ali with an eye is already a top-level football player after one lesson with the Karate Kid. Welcome to the Three Takes of Stupidity. In this trilogy, we're doing martial arts films, and we're starting with the OG cult classic, Karate Kid, 1984. I'm joined by Chandler Monk.
Hi!
James Robbins.
Hi.
And I'm Alex Clinton. Let's wax on.
Boys, I'm back. Much to your enjoyment.
Annoyance.
Yeah, probably. But you've missed me? Have you missed me?
Mm-mm.
Good, because I ain't missed you either.
Have you missed us, James?
I've missed playing paddle with you both. It's been too long.
I've not played paddle in months. My knee's still fucked.
I haven't played paddle in hours.
But funny enough, though, this as my knee is still not right, I'm supposed to be playing in a charity football match on Tuesday at the one and only fortress that is Craven Cottage, which is where my team Fulham play, and I'm really looking forward to it. Also, I'm not looking forward to playing 11-a-side for the first time in 3 months on a Premier League-sized football pitch.
Do you think that's the only time a cottage has been called a fortress? Because generally they're not.
Anyway.
You made a really good point, sort of.
Oh, down the cottage.
Well, we know what James has been up to. James has been off in Thailand having lots of fun at our wedding. We did hear 3 voice notes from while you were away. I'm really happy to actually be back recording because, as obviously, well, hopefully the people listening to this know, we released our unreleased episodes for the past few weeks, which makes it sound like we planned for this for when James was going away, but it was just a good fortune. But I'm really happy to be back recording with you guys.
I'm really happy as well. I've missed both of you.
Oh, cute.
Maybe.
James, you sound so annoyed to be here.
I'm still ill.
Still recovering.
Still recovering. Yeah,
still recovering
much.
From your month away.
It's tough for us because obviously you've been to Vietnam and we won't know what it's like because we weren't there, man.
You weren't there, man.
Alex's war movie references. Nice.
Alex has been waiting. Alex has probably been waiting for that since the last time we recorded 5 weeks ago. Before I even went away, he's had that in his locker.
That in his back pocket.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the only acceptable Vietnam reference you can do now. Smells like napalm. It's just a bit too dark, isn't it, really?
That's an actual callback to our first ever episode of Revolution. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. I hate you both. You didn't get that. I hate you both so much.
I'm impressed at your 3 takes lore memory.
Hey,
I guess we have lore.
I'm the one who fucking edits this shit. I have to listen back to this for hours and hours and hours. Of course I remember.
Ironically, that's the one I took 3 months to edit.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So yeah, you just know the lore of this podcast.
Moving us on gently. Have we been watching anything? James, obviously you've been watching a lot of airplane movies.
I'll just talk about what I've been up to instead of what I've been watching. Because as you know, I've been away. Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, lovely. The wedding was amazing. Congratulations to the Jeffreys. Said it before, I'll say it again. They're officially married now because they technically couldn't get officially married in Thailand. So what a waste. But it was good nonetheless.
I hate couples who do that. Just pointing that one out.
But they got to have a little wedding with their little doggy Cedric, which was cute. And then
they flew their dog all the way over to fucking Thailand to get married.
No. Do you know how much of a pain it is to get an animal in and out of Australia? You basically have to put your pet through torture to import them, and they had to do it. It's horrendous. Do some research.
No, they didn't have. No. They didn't have to do it at all. They didn't have to
You're
do
right.
it all.
They didn't fucking have to. They didn't have to. Alex, you're very, very right. They should have never moved. Arseholes.
That is just James going, I never wanted my friend to leave me.
Basically. But then after that...
Don't worry, James. Me and Alex will definitely leave you at some point.
Well, yeah, but that'd be a good thing. Coming straight off the trip into Saminamina, waka waka, 17th, and I don't know how. We won it in Bilbao. And that's probably the main reason I'm ill. I came off the trip. Spurs won a trophy for the first time in 17 years, a major European one. And then I celebrated for days.
Minor European one.
Maybe, all right, go win another one. Incredible. Very happy. And I celebrated a bit too hard. So straight off the trip into that, and I've been bedbound for the last week.
Yeah. In our last release bit, me and Alex were like, we're going to take a week off. We've, wait for James to come back. We'll have a week off and we'll come back. We've taken 2 weeks off because James can't recover from a hangover fucking quick enough.
I'm pretty sure Alex was the reason we didn't record last week, not me. I could have done it. I just kept quiet in the chat.
So you couldn't have done it. See other reasons.
You couldn't have done it because you never fucking reply.
No, I could have. I just was like, it looks like it's not happening. Great.
Alex, what have you been up to? What have you been watching?
I've been at work. I've been at work for a lot of the time since James has been gone. But I have found time to watch the Osama bin Laden manhunting thing on Netflix.
Of course you have.
It's very good. Don't tell me if he dies at the end. I don't want to know.
Have you not finished The Sopranos yet, Alex? I was really hoping that's what you were going to say.
Oh,
I have
fuck's
left The
sake.
Sopranos. I'm in the middle of Breaking Bad. I'm on like a rewatch, obviously.
Wait, have you fucked off Sopranos?
It was going too slowly.
Oh, interesting. Which point did you get up to?
No spoilers
I can't remember.
for me. We
Alright,
might
fair
watch
enough.
it one day.
Fair enough.
I forgot. I have watched some stuff.
James, you use your time up. You've used your time up. You've used your time up. No one cares.
I watched Transformers 1 the other day. That was quite fun. It was silly.
Brilliant.
And some animes, but let's ease back into that. Charlotte, what have you watched?
Do you know what's really funny, right? Since started doing this podcast, because of the time spent of doing and producing this, I don't have time to watch films. So in the past few weeks when we've not had to record or watch films and stuff like that, I've actually managed to watch quite a lot. So me and my partner have started watching White Lotus, which is really good. I've done it. I'm halfway through a rewatch of Doctor Who because Doctor Who's amazing. And I took a trip to the cinema recently to go see Karate Kid Legends, the latest installment of the Miyagi-verse, which is why...
It's almost like we planned it.
Yeah, I know, funnily enough. It's the first time we've ever actually planned anything. And because you couldn't recover from a hangover, we're still a week late.
Again, Alex didn't want to record last week. Why am I getting the blame? This is bullshit.
But anyway, you guys will see TikTok of my initial reaction to that film out very soon, I hope. James, edit it, please.
Yes.
And yeah, well, first of all, it was amazing. And that's why we're coming back to the original Karate Kid, which I was so happy to pick for our martial arts theme. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way for our first record back. The Karate Kid follows the journey of Daniel LaRusso, who moves to Southern California with his mother, but quickly finds himself the target of a group of bullies who study karate at the Cobra Kai dojo. Fortunately, Daniel befriends Mr. Miyagi, an unassuming repairman who just happens to be a martial arts master himself. Miyagi takes Daniel under his wing, training him in a more compassionate form of karate and preparing him to compete against the brutal Cobra Kai.
Holy shit, that was so long.
What's wrong with that?
Mine was so much better.
Fingers Ali with an eye.
Falls over, fights a cunt, fingers his girlfriend. Good.
Who's sick at football. I wanted to make a reference about how she's better than most of the WSL, but I felt that was insensitive.
The Karate Kid has a 7.3 rating on IMDb. It also has a 81% tomato meter and an 83% popcorn meter. What did you guys think coming into watching this film for the pod?
I was quite excited to watch it. I've only seen the wonderful Jaden Smith remake with... Is Jackie Chan in that one?
Yeah, Jackie Chan's in that one.
Yeah, Jackie Chan karate is Japanese. Jackie Chan is from China. So that is the irritation to start with.
Well, no. So it's actually it's sort of explained in the second film,
Yeah.
the Karate Kid Part 2, that the type of karate that Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel's son, is brought over from China essentially, and it's like a mixture between kung fu and karate.
The karate did stem from kung fu, I believe, and it was Okinawan kung fu, which at the start of the film, Okinawan karate, which at the start of the film, Mr. Miyagi insinuates that Okinawa is another country, which it isn't. It's in Japan, but maybe
I don't think he does. I think he
goes,
just
China
says it's
here,
not part
Japan
of
here, Okinawa here, China this big, Japan this big, Okinawa.
I don't think he insinuates it's another country. He's just going, this is where in Japan it is.
I liked his pride anyway, but I was excited to watch it. I loved Power Rangers as a kid. I loved Jackie Chan Adventures, Samurai Jack, all these like TV shows which leaned martial arts. But I've never really watched or dived into a lot of traditional martial arts films. So it feels like a good opportunity. And yeah, it was. I look forward to it. It was good fun.
I wasn't really looking forward to it. I was indifferent to this film. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'll watch. It's on. I'll watch it. But I was also a fan of the Jackie Chan cartoon, Hong Kong Phooey.
So good.
I was a fan of Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey.
Yeah.
That is a throwback. Hong Kong Phooey. I picked this film. So if anyone's listened to this podcast before, I love Cobra Kai, which is the TV show that was a continuation of the original trilogy, essentially. And I love basically all the Karate Kid films. I love Cobra Kai. And when we decided to do martial arts and saw that the new film was coming out, I had to jump at the chance to get you guys to watch this.
And before you came onto the call, me and Alex were saying, like, when the Cobra Kai came into the film, like, who the fuck wanted more of that guy?
But just before we actually dive into the film, it's actually it's really interesting how Cobra Kai got made. Basically, there's a joke in How I Met Your Mother. There was a joke in How I Met Your Mother about how Barney thinks when he watches the Karate Kid, he's rooting for Johnny Lawrence, and then they get him to be in the show, and basically it all stems because the writers of Cobra Kai used to be writing on How I Met Your Mother, and they came up with the idea of following Johnny after it all. But anyway, go watch Cobra Kai. It's fucking amazing.
Oh, Johnny sucked.
That's kind of the point.
And what you said there was a total lie. There's no such thing as jokes in How I Met Your Mother. The whole show is just a joke.
Like How I Met Your Mother.
Hot take.
Just a terrible, terrible show.
Yeah, it's mental to think this film has 3 sequels, a reboot, and then another sequel of that reboot, and a whole 6-season television show.
From falling over on a beach.
Falling over on a beach. It's made me want to watch Cobra Kai more than the new film because I want to see it with modern filming techniques and modern and martial arts in a modern context, because I found a lot of the fight scenes in this didn't carry much weight. It was like no one ever connected. And obviously when they're making a film, a fight scene, people don't truly connect, but you don't realize it because of camera technique and editing. In this, I could tell that no one ever touched anyone.
There are a few where you're like, okay, that could have connected, but there are a few where you're like, you not got absolutely nowhere near hitting the other guy.
There were so many professional wrestling moments I felt where they like hit their chest and hit a foot away from someone's face, like, "Hata!"
So let's just break down the plot, because it is fundamentally it's a really simple plot.
Yeah,
like it's a very simple, kid moves to a new town, falls in love with a girl, the ex-boyfriend gets involved, and then he starts bullying him essentially. I've got to strengthen up somehow, finds a father figure mentor, and then defeats him at the end.
No, he defeats the bully, not the father figure. He doesn't fight his own father.
yeah, fair. He defeats the bully.
Just like every teen rom-com drama film, the kid has been practicing a bit of karate, and the guys he piss off are all in a karate dojo, and he somehow finds a quirky sensei master who is trying to catch flies with chopsticks and teaches him karate in the most weird way possible. It's a teen drama with karate.
Yeah, fine. But you say you sort of come along with it that it's really cliche, right?
Yeah.
However, this film, I think, started those cliches. That's the thing. So it's weird. I think it's. You have to realize that in the 40 years since this film has been released, this film has had 3 sequels, a reboot, a television show, and another fucking sequel come out. and all the other films try and copy this type of like story and journey. But it was this film that started it.
Yeah.
It was so I think there is a slight recency bias there, because what you're watching is the original, and you've seen it be done to death. Essentially, you've seen these cliches done to death, that you can't appreciate the actual originality of this film.
But because it is the original, it's a margarita pizza of karate movies.
Not even that. It's marinara.
So like
this hasn't got cheese.
So simple, so straightforward. Yeah, sorry. It's just sauce and dough.
Like Miyagi dough. Sorry, I really enjoyed that joke.
But Mr. Miyagi, though, he is a caricature of what an Asian man was, an old Asian man was thought of in Western culture at the time. Like, his caricature is from a place of no cultural knowledge, really. Like, he is a painful caricature. Like, the whole Banzai thing.
Banzai!
They don't say Banzai when they cheers, it's Kampai. Banzai is a war thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, when they started doing that in the movie, I was like, oh, I bet there was a lot of PTSD in the theatres when this was going on. Why is Grandpa crying? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
So reading into this film, right, so Pat Morita, the person who plays Mr. Miyagi, he's also really famous from being in Happy Days. He got nominated for an Oscar for this film.
I thought it was great.
He's fantastic. But a lot of his portrayal of the character is from his own experience of being in America during Second World War, and of people that he knew during that time. So I think saying that it's a caricature, I think it's that thing of, I think it's what I just said before, like the film's been out 40 years and every other caricature since is playing off this portrayal that was probably quite not unique, was quite dear to Pat Morita, who plays this really well. But because it's been done so much, you go back and watch it 40 years later, it seems like a caricature.
I mean, that caricature comes before this film. Like, it wasn't created in this film. It is a westernized view of it back in the day of what an old Asian man might be, and that is what it's portraying. Doesn't take away from its performance or anything, but I don't think it started in this film. Definitely brought that to the the public eye, for sure, on a broader scale.
Would you prefer if in the film there was another Asian man and he just hates karate? He hates all things. he just throws sushi out the window. He's like, I don't even like it. It's just gross. Give me a McDonald's, please. Someone go take me to Burger King.
Like, just a self-hating Japanese man, randomly
is that what
in the
you're
film
after?
for no reason. No, Alex, I'm just talking about how he's a caricature. Didn't even say it's a bad thing. It's 1984.
But I really like in this film how, like, I quite enjoy watching Daniel's journey, like, because he comes to LA as quite a cocky New Jersey. That's quite caricature-y. Like, like his Ralph Macchio's portrayal of like a cocky 16-year-old New Jersey kid is quite caricature. It's very Sopranos.
Italian, second, third, fourth generation Italian kid from New Jersey. They're loud and confident. You're exactly right. And he puts the moves on straight away. Like, he's trying to charm people all the time.
He's quality. I love his Riz in this. I can't believe I just said Riz. I'm 30. I'm nearly 30 and I just said the word Riz.
Chandler,
anyway,
we're for all audiences.
I really enjoy that sort of. I enjoy that he brings that cockiness, like he's trying to chat, like he's trying to make friends straight away, trying to chat with girls straight away. Elizabeth Shue playing the love interest, Ali. I think she's really good in it. I think it's important to note that a lot of the actors are above 18 playing these teenage roles.
Yeah, and he's the only one that actually looks like a child. You could have told me he was 13 and he looks 13.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio, I think, is the oldest out of like the three of them. He's older than Billy Zabka, and I think he's older than Elizabeth Shue as well.
Elizabeth Shue, Ali, looked like she could be his auntie.
Yeah, there are certain scenes in it where she looks really old and he looks really young. Like from their casting age bracket, it's crazy how young he looks. But there was loads of people who went for this role that he lost out to, like Sean Penn, Robert Downey Jr., Charlie Sheen, a young Nicolas Cage. Can you imagine Nicolas Cage in this role? Holy shit!
That would have been
That'd be
hilarious.
so good.
That would have been very funny. It does feel like it's around the time of like Ferris Bueller, which obviously Robert Downey Jr. was in.
Ferris
John
Bueller,
Cryer
I think, is
also went for
just
it.
before this.
It feels like that era of
Oh, it's older than this. Is older than Ferris Bueller, actually.
a couple years
Yeah,
apart.
it does feel. Yeah,
Like it could have been Robert Downey Jr. It could have been Matthew Broderick. You could have put Ralph Macchio in Ferris Bueller instead. It would
Nah, I
have worked.
completely
Nah,
disagree with
you
that.
couldn't. Nah.
You couldn't. Nah, that's such bullshit. That is, I think, a very unappreciative stance on just how good 80s movies are.
I love Ferris Bueller. Why? I just think they could all just jump between because it's all kind of similar.
No.
Could
Yeah,
answer me
but-
this though, because I didn't research this because I wanted to ask it. Did Ralph Macchio actually learn karate or no karate for this role? Because nowadays, when someone goes for a role such as this, normally they are an actor who also is like a black belt in martial arts.
No, Ralph Macchio did not know karate before this film. I
you
think he
can kinda
learned
tell.
some of it before the film. William Zabka, though, did know quite a bit of karate before he landed the part.
Okay, that looked like you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ralph Macchio is meant to know nothing about karate.
When he's
That
at the
is true.
start of it, he's like, "Oh, I've learned a bit."
He's meant to know some. Yeah, exactly.
He had a couple lessons at the Y, which I think is a community centre back in
YMCA.
Jersey. Yeah, that makes more sense. And he has a book. You know, that book where he's just kicking.
Just kicking the shit out of stuff.
Kicking.
And so Mr. Miyagi just walks into the house to finally, because they've moved into a new place. The sink's broken. Miyagi is the maintenance man. Also, we find out later on, has a really nice house and like 4 really nice, amazing cars. But yeah, fixes his faucet.
Yeah. I think the house that Miyagi has is, I think it's supposed to infer that he built it himself. Like
Yeah.
he bought the land and then built the
Yeah.
house himself.
Feels right. I mean, he's Japanese traditional style inside.
Exactly. It also shows that he's obviously he's a handyman, so he's very good with his hands. So I think it's also meant to imply that he bought those cars when they were shit and then made them up.
Mm.
So James, in the past, you've had problems with films being really slow to start with, right? I would say, rewatching this, that this film starts pretty damn quickly.
No.
Because within 15 minutes, you can sort of tell you can tell exactly what's going to happen. Like within 15 minutes, Danny, LaRusso has met Ali. You can tell that he wants to be with her, and he's got into a fight with Johnny, who's the ex-boyfriend. And you're like, that's the film. That's the film set up there within the first 15 minutes. And you have all the backstory that you have.
It takes 55 minutes for him to start learning karate.
But he's got to get beaten up first.
Yeah, but he's the karate kid. You knew at some point he would learn karate.
Yeah, but I don't disagree. I had no problem with the pacing of this film at all.
Mm.
It's very, very clear 3 parts. Like you got your little origin story of the setup. Yeah, meeting the girl, pissing off the bullies. The bullies for some reason always being on motorbikes and somehow appearing out of nowhere as well on loud motorbikes. That's funny. Then the training arc happens in the second act, and then the end of the film is the tournament. So it's very evenly set out and nicely set out. I don't necessarily think it started that quick. You get the setup of why they need karate. He needs to be able to fight back. And he's found these guys. Like, it wasn't like these guys know karate randomly. Near where they live, there's a big freaking dojo center, and he walks in to maybe go in and learn. And they're all there. The whole crew.
The Cobra Kai. Excuse me. It's called the Cobra Kai Dojo. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
I hate that guy. I hate the guy who runs
So
the Cobra
much.
Kai the guy who keeps shouting that we do not have losers in this dojo. No one knows defeat in this dojo. What happens when they have competitions?
Defeat does not exist in this dojo. No, Sensei.
Ironically, at the end, all of them are getting their ass handed to them at the end at the tournament, except like one guy. They're all fucking losing. And also, why is he so Ben Stiller in what's it called?
Dodgeball.
Zoolander. No, every time. What's the guy that runs the Cobra Kai studio?
He's the character or actor?
Character.
John Kreese.
Joe Kreese. Every time he's there, he's staring intensely, wide-eyed like this, and he's got a bit of a stern. He's got quite I don't know, he looks like he's had lip filler. He's like a bit pouty and then he touches his hair a lot, sweeps his hair back all the time. Just very intense, very Zoolander. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? It's a psychopath.
It's an 80s movie. He's probably on a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, he did seem very coked up.
As we've said before, like this film, I think is so quintessentially 80s. I love that it's quintessentially 80s. I love the cheesiness, the nostalgia, the like just the whole vibe of these types of 80s movies. I think are quality when you look back on them. Like even in the 2000s when I was growing up, you look back on these films, they're amazing. You look back on them now in the 20s and it's like they're still great.
The music, though, it has a soundtrack. Films don't have soundtracks anymore. When Bananarama came on, I was like, oh, yes. I'm not really a Bananarama fan, but...
Best around.
Yeah, when this is jumping ahead to the end of the film, but when You're the Best Around comes on, that song, I did a little research, that song was originally written and going to be chosen to be in Rocky 2, but got beaten out by Eye of the Tiger. So Karate Kid picked up for this film as their soundtrack, which is an amazing little fact.
But I love the 80s tropes in it. The terrible fashion, where they're all just wearing jumpers that have just been cut at random places.
Good fashion. 80s fashion was good shit.
Fashion is it's a circle. Fashion is a circle. Fashion is a left circle, right circle. Left circle, right circle. Sorry. So how did you think his flirtation with Ali comes across? Do you think, because I think it comes across really well.
I think he's smooth as fuck.
Yeah,
this
he is,
kid
isn't
has got game. I mean, it starts off really awkwardly. So he's been with his mate, with the Stanley ass name Freddie Fernandez, straight out of Marvel comic, who's in the film for 2 seconds and he bins him off and they're not friends anymore for some reason, even though they're like neighbours. Takes him to a beach party and he's like, oh yeah, they're all the rich girls from the hills. And then it's just cringily awkward. They're just staring at each other.
Yeah, that's very 80s. It's so childish.
Staring at her, and I'm like, that's creepy.
Chandler called it Great Riz.
Yeah. It starts off awfully. The football being kicked over.
It evolves really well. Like he teaches her football. Like I think this for an American film has quite some good football skills in it, to be fair.
Yeah, he's decent at football, and then she asks for tips. He's like, just kick it on your knee once. Then in the next scene, she's just dribbling past like 10 people.
Yeah, the scene where he gets kicked off the team when he like is dribbling the entire opponent, and I'm in my head, I'm going Messi, goal. Oh, no goal. Sergio Ramos has come in and killed him.
That scene though, he just starts a fight. He gets tackled and just starts fights. He's gone from being beaten up on the beach in front of Ali to deciding to beat other people up in front of Ali. But that doesn't go very well either because he gets suspended.
Anyway, back on the Riz.
Yeah, I think like his whole flirtation with Ali and stuff, I think it's done really well. I think it's like even when they go on their first date to the golf and stuff, I really like how he portrays that he's really awkward around like her rich parents and everything, and really quite embarrassed by his like sort of, you know, poor.
Well, he is
being poor background, right?
They seemed judgy as hell, but they still let her go. So that was nice. I thought that was going to be a plot thread. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it was a plot thread.
Not really.
No, not really.
No, there's a mention of it later on in the film, like that the parents would rather her go out with Johnny again instead of going and seeing going and see Daniel.
But they're
again.
not like stopping her, which is how a lot of movies would go.
True, but I do think some things are sort of, you know, glossed over. Like, you know, right at the end of their first date, like she's like she doesn't want to go. Like they like all the cool kids turn up in their car and take the piss out of them being picked up by Daniel's mum. And he's like, he's like so embarrassed by it. He's like, oh, you could have gone with them. And it ends the date on a really awkward note. Like every time they interact, like it starts off really well and then it ends shit. Starts off and then they talk again. It starts off really well and then ends shit.
He's really insecure about it. Like he's quite a confident guy, but he's clearly quite insecure in ways. And at that point, so that's quite deep in the movie. That's during the kind of second act when we know he's training to learn karate for the tournament to fight Johnny, and the Cobra Kai Sensei has said no one will do anything to this kid until the tournament, basically. So like they're not going to hurt him, but they're like taking the piss out of him and saying, yeah, come up to the hill with everyone. And he's obviously nervous. He doesn't want to. They're going to bully him verbally. They're just not going to beat him up. And he'll want to beat them up. But she doesn't want to go, but he makes a big deal out of it. He makes a big deal about her just not wanting to go. He ruins the date at the end because he thinks she would like to go, but she doesn't. And he's then weird about it.
But again, that's classic 80s film. Like another trope, perfectly set up. You should go with them. I don't want to.
I think it's quite realistic to real life when you're a teenager as well. They're what, 14, 15?
15, 16.
Like, you don't really know how to act.
You are very insecure about everything. Like, even at the end of the film, we're going to come back and talk about his training and the montage of that. But even at the end of the film, where he sees that Johnny just kisses her out of nowhere when he's at the country club, he immediately takes that as like, she's just back with him. Like, she's just been using me.
I was all with him. When she was annoyed at him about his reaction, I was a bit pissed off because he hadn't seen her punch Johnny in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
His reaction is fully justified. And his reaction's justified, I think.
I don't know. I don't think it's justified. I think again, this comes down to like teenage insecurity and not knowing how to communicate properly.
Yeah.
So I think I think he's in the wrong, but again, I'm talking of 15 years more experience than a 15-year-old with his first love, essentially.
He probably wanted to karate kick her in the face, but was like, "No, remember the dojo training. Don't kick her in the face yet."
Without his relationship with Ali, you don't have the crux of the film, which is ultimately Johnny consistently bullying the shit out of this kid. I mean, beating him up on the beach, thinking a girl's going to be with him after he's destroyed her stereo, which that was a nice stereo. That was probably expensive back in 1984.
They're rich kids.
Appearing out of the blue, out of nowhere on his motorbike to cause Daniel to fall down a fucking hill where it was like, and you could genuinely die because they've kicked him off his bicycle down the hill. How else have they beat him up? Beat him up when even one of Johnny's mates tries to stop Johnny from consistently beating him up before Mr. Miyagi comes in and saves him like a Donnie.
But to be fair, on that one, like the other two bits, I think like totally Johnny and the Cobra Kai is like just wanting to bully him essentially.
Yeah, but it's all because Johnny dated Ali, and as one of the friends said, they broke up. She did, he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that third one, just before Mr. Miyagi saves him, Daniel started that specific one. To be fair, like Ali said something to him of like, "I wish someone would give it back to him." So then Daniel sees him and sees his opportunity and gets him wet with a hose.
I mean, I'd argue that Johnny has still, that from prior involvement, has caused that incident.
Yeah, but I think his relationship with Johnny gives us the most, the comedic value in all of the film. From the beach fight where he just keeps running at him like he's a bull and getting tripped over every time, to being dressed as a shower and then making him wet, which is funny on several levels, and then running away dressed as a shower.
Yeah, I don't understand why, because at some point later after he's caused car crashes, he then takes the shower costume off. Why not immediately take it off to run away easier?
Imagine explaining that to your insurance company. A shower came and I crashed.
But this is the bit where, and if you look at it within the confines of the film, Mr. Miyagi comes and saves him. If you look at it outside of the film, this is where a old man steps in and beats some children up.
Breaks one of those children's arm.
Oh, yeah, I know. He just like, fuck it, I'm going to beat some 17-year-olds up.
Which, hey, it was great. I loved that. I was like, yes, fucking deck him, Mr. Miyagi.
I really enjoyed like your Marvel reference. Like, I really enjoyed that Daniel, after he's woken up, he goes, "Oh, where's Spider-Man?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's the only guy that's Johnny's mate that's like trying to save him. Like, it's like, done enough here. Don't hurt him anymore. But the thing is, what I loved about the relationship with Johnny is they don't know much about each other. They know nothing about each other.
No. But they're just fighting over Ali. That's all they're doing.
Every time Daniel comes into contact with Johnny from afar, even when they're not interacting, there was this one shot of Daniel's face every single time, looking like the most petrified person there's ever been. Wide-eyed, shitting himself. Every time he goes into the dojo at the start, and then when he sees him, just a look of pure fear. When he goes in with Mr. Miyagi, pure fear. When he sees him at school, pure fear, and runs away about 3 times.
That's what it's like being bullied.
Yeah, I would argue that's perfect reacting.
No, I'm saying it is perfect. I just found the shots funny.
I enjoyed that comment, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the right reaction. It was just quite comically displayed to me. There is a lot of this film that is unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah, there's too much of it that's too funny. As you said, the beach scene, the shower scene, the football where he gets tackled and he's like, "I will break your face." No reason. Like he's never been tackled before.
And honestly, when she starts playing football like she's fucking prime Zinedine Zidane, that coming out of nowhere is unintentionally funny. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
His mum getting bullied at mini golf. That's hilarious. Like, nice car, Mrs. LaRusso.
It's so out of pocket.
Just gonna take it. Just gonna try and drag us back a little. So let's start talking about. So Miyagi is like of the opinion, right? I'm now gonna take Daniel's son under my wing and like be this father figure that we've like. He's obviously missing. He's obviously missing. It's really hard. I would love to be put into the cinema in 1984 to see this film come out, because again, just correct me if I'm wrong. Neither of you had seen this before watching it for the pod, right?
No, just seen the good old Jaden Smith version.
Yeah, fine. But you guys know how like pop culture linked the whole wax on, wax off thing is, right? Yeah. You knew that one. You
it's in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, thank you. So I would love to have been in that theater in 1984 to watch it for the first time, and like everyone really questioning this like training method, because it's so clever, but I also think it's really dumb.
Oh, no, it's not clever at all. It's not clever at all. There's no way. I know loads of painter and decorators. They spend all their days doing fucking painting. I reckon a dojo master could knock the shit out of them. Wax on, wax off. Fuck off.
I did do a little bit of research into this, and there was one article was like, yeah, no, this is a load of crap. Like, yeah, they can do that, but he needs to do about 100 each type of punch 100 times a day. Like that's how you actually get good at martial arts.
That's what he does. However, he walks away. He walks away going, ha.
But however, in some,
he's also only taught him defense as well.
In some martial arts dojos,
no, he teaches him attack eventually. The 1-inch punch.
Yeah, which is a real thing. Which is a real thing. But there is in dojos they do get they do train people in some martial arts with to clean because they train barefoot. They have to clean the floor afterwards. So they get you to go like down on fours with the
wax on, wax off.
Wipe. No, but they have to like basically run
with the left circle, right circle.
They have to run in that squat position with their hands holding the cloth back and forth to polish the floor, which is like really fucking hard. Try and run on all fours without your knees on the floor. Like it's hard. So there is some loose connection to doing mundane tasks in it, but it's quite loose.
But I think what this film has in all of this, in this like the training montage bits, is the genuine heart and connection between these two characters. Like the father-son type relationship that Mr. Miyagi and Daniel have is incredible. And I think it is so like the whole lesson about him teaching about balance, not just in karate, but in life. Like if you have balance in life, everything will follow. Learn karate, what's the line? Don't go seeking revenge by learning karate, because he who seeks revenge will dig 2 graves. Yeah. Like learn karate for defense only. Fighting is always the last option. Like the whole training bit is actually, I think, fundamentally like not telling the audience don't train to fight because you want revenge. Train, like as I say, like train to fight because it's as your absolute last resort. And remember, in life, all you really want to achieve is balance.
It's the training as well is a great use to juxtapose against the Cobra Kai school. Because the Cobra Kai school, martial arts is all about self-defense. They're talking about throw the first punch, show no mercy. That's not martial arts.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. I love this film.
Yeah, and that's not martial arts. Martial arts is always like self-defense. It's always coming from a position of self-defense. And then Mr. Miyagi thus then training him in a way that is non-combative, but almost until that 1-inch punch and the like crane kicks on the wooden pedestal at the beach. Other than that, the training is non-combative. And it's just a real nice separation between the Cobra Kai school. And then thus you're right, teaching him life skills, teaching him how balance in life. Even like the bonsai tree, they take a shit ton of work. Like bonsai trees are really hard to do. And he's like, he's teaching him different skills that will only benefit him moving forward.
It's really good that you say that he's only teaching him defense. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. You shouldn't go looking for revenge. Then signs him up to a karate championship where he's going to take revenge on all of the people who've wronged him. You will dig 2 graves. Wrong, actually, dig about 8 because you're going to knock the shit out of this lot.
It's about honor. It's about
yeah,
honor.
no, exactly. It's about honor and respect. He does say like you don't need to win. Like winning no matter. Like it's about gaining respect from your opponents. It's like fighting the good fight essentially. Like it's about gaining honor and respect from everyone else. And I think it's also really interesting in the whole training montage that Mr. Miyagi also says a line basically like, there is no bad student, only bad teacher. And it's basically saying that don't blame these kids really for how they're acting now because they're only kids. They're only 15, 16, 17 years old. It's John Kreese who's the one who's teaching them these bad messages and they're just listening.
Hey, and lots of bad things are learned behavior, right? Like we know that in life for kids. I will say though, Mr. Miyagi is big-brained as fuck because his training regime made an absolute karate donny, and he also got his patio sanded, his cars waxed, his fence painted, all for free labor.
As he said, the deal that Daniel-san has to make with him is, I say, you do, no questions.
Also, not really that relevant. But
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Hang on. I'm really surprised, James, that you've not had a go at Mr. Miyagi for free child labour yet.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, he's getting something out of it. He's going to beat up his bully, which, we can champion for everyone. Kids, punch your bullies. Like, just fucking throw hands.
No, wax on, wax off, and then kick them in the chest.
The Three Takes of Stupidity does not condone violence.
Mr. Miyagi calling him Daniel-san is like mad respect because that's normally for like people older than you or like teachers and your grandparents or something. So he should have been Daniel-kun.
Yeah, I read that as well.
I feel like American audiences were pretty happy with like, oh, Daniel-san, that's something that they say over there.
That's Japanese.
Yeah,
Whereas if they'd gone Daniel-kun, they would have been like, I have no idea why this guy is just putting extra letters on the end of this boy's name.
You are 100% right. Like, absolutely. Audiences would have been like, the fuck? He called him what?
Pat Morita, as I said before, Pat Morita's portrayal of Mr. Miyagi is really, really good. And I think it really comes across in one of these scenes where we learn more about his past, about fighting for the American army during the Second World War, what happened to his wife and son in a Japanese internment camp. And that whole scene is really heartbreaking. And I think it then leads us on, like, I don't want to brush past it, but that scene really shows why his connection to Daniel is so important to him, that when it comes around into the next scene of his birthday, that he loves Daniel so much, it is his best friend and his surrogate son, essentially, that he gives him the patch that his wife made on the back of his karate gi and also gives him a fucking car.
And I love a beautiful, what now would be an unbelievably beautiful classic car. And
I think even then it was unbelievably beautiful classic car.
Yes, it was.
Like, even by that point, it was probably like 20 years old.
It was gorgeous.
It's from the 50s.
And a fat off birthday cake.
Yeah. And a fantastic birthday cake.
Yeah, and like the Mr. Miyagi getting drunk, like he found him drunk at kind of like, and he was paying respect to his wife, and then he died during childbirth, correct?
Yeah. Complications due to childbirth.
Honestly, all of that scene, heartbreaking, teared up. The birthday scene was so cute. And also it does give you important context, right? Because otherwise Mr. Miyagi is just a random old man that's got way too involved in a kid's life.
And beating up some children, beating up
some kids, not so great. But now you understand, he's met this kid that he could see was clearly struggling and going through something. And then also it's kind of a bit of healing for him as well. And yeah, exactly. That scene is really emotional.
I enjoyed that he was drinking whiskey. It made me want whiskey, if I'm honest with you. But I'd watched it at 3 PM and thought it's unacceptable for me to have one now. I would just enjoy this and watch him have it. But he also put him to bed as well. That's incredible strength to put a grown man to bed.
Don't think he was very large, but it's all that training.
Yeah, but he was waxing him. Oh no! Wait, was he waxing him off and waxing him on? Wax on, wax off.
We got him. Guys,
paint the fence. Paint the fence.
So after all that, I think this leads us really nicely on into talking about the climax of the movie, them actually at the All Valley Karate tournament. The one thing I have to say about this, which is the same for every single other Karate Kid movie and the Cobra Kai series, is there are far too many people at a localized karate tournament. the amount of money and marketing that went into getting that many people there on a random day in December to watch a karate tournament.
But what I will say is it's America. They take their sports insanely seriously.
That is true. But a karate tournament? Really?
Yeah. Hang on. I put this to you right now. At your local community centre, next Saturday, there will be 15-year-olds beating up other 15-year-olds. You're not going to go watch that.
To be fair.
I would be there. I'd be in the front row.
Alex, fucking nonce.
We fucking got him again.
What, you don't watch them beat each other up?
Alex, you want to watch sweaty children? You fucking freak.
There wasn't a single bead of sweat on any of them, I promise you that.
Alex, you want to sit front row at kids getting sweaty?
Alex, are you saying that you would happily invite the awkward question of someone coming up to you going, so, which one's yours? And then you have to reply, none of them.
I mean, if the love of the game.
One that just died. No one's going to want to claim that one.
Anyway.
I might as well have that one.
He's just there for the love of the game. Love of the game.
Scouting.
Leave the karate before the karate leaves you.
But anyway, I really enjoyed the way at the start of the tournament they come in and go, okay, here's Daniel LaRusso, he's going to be a fight. And it's like, is he a brown belt and above? Yeah, sure, black belt, whatever. Who gives a fuck? He should die anyway. And then Miyagi just steals one. Like, surely that guy looks into his bag later on and just goes, where the fuck's my black belt? Where the fuck is the thing I've taken years to practice to get? But he's just like, fuck it, it's nicked it. And I also really enjoyed, but before they go into his first match, and Ali wants to go by the mat area with them. I don't know really what to call it. They go, oh yeah, he can't speak English. But
this is good
the guy
shit.
should realize that he's replying to his English but in Japanese so he can understand English.
Yeah.
And at the end says you're welcome in English.
Ali, no
questions asked.
No, Daniel made that up so quick, and I just loved how quickly
Riz.
Ali and Mr. Miyagi both are like, yeah, we got this. Yeah, we got this.
Yeah,
his Riz.
Japanese.
His Riz is on point.
Oh, you look like his uncle. And he's obviously older than him. It's fantastic. I will say, though, this tournament, this film did not have any beautiful camera work to note, to be honest. It looks... Everything felt like a static
wide. The film is 40 years old.
Art, fucking Picasso was from when? Art has been around forever, Chandler.
Great analogy.
Yeah. But
yes, static art has been around forever, so camera work in 1984 should be great. Yeah, that works.
Picasso did his best work in
movies.
the 30s, 40s, and 50s. You could have picked artists so much older.
Tell my knowledge is on point. I did feel
you came for some stupid takes, and here they are.
Exactly. Most of the shots did feel like just locked off, boring mid shots. There's nothing really to write home about, and I do feel like that was really felt in the fight scenes. There's really no dynamic camera work, And it does mean that all the fights feel really flat. I mentioned earlier how it feels like no one ever got hit at all in this movie. Also, all of Daniel's fights, he either didn't get hit or got hit, and then he one-shot everyone.
Yeah, but he's like Muhammad Ali. He'll just take the hits and then just one right hook and he's got him.
He clotheslined someone straight in the stomach. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. But then it was done.
You only need, but that's the thing. I do think in this film, the fights are so quick because you only need 2 points to win. You don't need to hit them twice to win the whole thing.
Maybe someone could explain karate rules to me as well. He runs away twice, doesn't he, in the first fight? He just runs away. And then the guy's like, if you run away again, I will give a point to the other person. How many times can you run away? Yeah. I didn't realise you could run away, by the way. You have a whole ring. Why not just run around?
Yeah. I don't know.
Why are they so adamant in fighting each other?
There is one other thing I forgot to mention at the start of the fights is when Miyagi goes, I don't know the rules. You know, it's your first time and it's my first time. And he goes, shit. And then Mr. Miyagi goes, I used to fight for my life, not for fucking points.
Yeah. Mr. Miyagi has a load of those moments.
He should have just said, the jugular is here. With one slash, you can take out your opponents. I mean, yeah, but you kill one kid, you strike enough fear into the rest of the competition, you're already a champion.
But there are some...
That's very Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that is. I love this film, but rewatching the final sort of few fights, I genuinely don't understand the rules. Because in the semi-final, when one of the Cobra Kai is told to take him out, he just injures his knee, right? He just fucks his knee up.
below the waist.
Yeah, no points. But they didn't say anything about disqualification from below the waist.
No, it wasn't, because but he outwardly injured him.
Yeah, but then in the final, Johnny also hits the same knee and gets a warning, not a disqualification.
I mean, it's not like it's not. Look, I'm going to use your logic for saying anything bad about this movie. It's 1984.
No, fuck you.
But I mean, there's so many things in this, in the karate championships that don't make any sense. Like you say, so this kid breaks his knee. Mr. Miyagi rubs his knee, which
was magic.
He's rubbed him earlier, and rubbing him works. He's rubbed him again. Chandler, no.
Wank on.
No.
Wank off.
No. He gives him a magic rub down. We don't know where he rubs or what he rubs, and how long he rubs for.
His knee.
Yeah.
We got you again. 3 times. It's a hat trick.
The medical professional goes, this kid is done. And Miyagi's like, I will rub him better. And then...
Hey, you're right there, Alex. You're making yourself laugh.
I can't even remember what the second point I had was. It was a really important point. I also thought he lost. I thought the one thing I knew about Karate Kid is he doesn't win at the end, and Mr. Miyagi goes, you didn't win the point, or you didn't win the tournament, but you've won everyone's respect, and that's what means everything to everyone. That's what it's for.
He knocked him the fuck out with that crane kick that looked.
I know that now, but I've lived my whole life under this impression he lost.
So it's like a Rocky that he loses in the end, basically, like Rocky. No, so that's actually really interesting you say that, because apparently the guy who originally the original script for this film essentially has him losing at the end, because the original writer was like, the whole film Mr. Miyagi is teaching about, it doesn't matter if you win, it's about gaining respect, it's about balance in your life. The winning does not matter, it's about everything else that comes with it. So he thought he needs to lose at the end. However, basically the studio said, no, he's fucking winning. And he basically said, so what the fuck do I know? It was so successful. It had 4 sequels, a television show. So what do I know as a writer?
I like that he won. I think if he lost, it's the same argument he had when he could have quit when he hurt his knee. When Miss Yamagi's like, yeah, you've got everyone's respect. But he's like, no, they're just going to keep bullying me if I lose. I would have just lost again. And I did feel like that, because even though some of the Cobra Kai fighters, most namely Johnny, the one that hadn't changed, like everyone was quite shocked by the sensei wanting them to injure Daniel, and then at the end telling Johnny to go for his leg in the timeout, sweep his bad leg in the timeout. He said, the only
put him
one
in a body bag.
Yeah, Bobby, that is. Bobby's a little wanker. He wanted Daniel dead. He wanted him fucking dead.
Do you know what's really funny about that?
What?
He's the one who in Cobra Kai, Bobby's become a priest.
But fuck, what? He needs to. He needs to repent. He's a fucking evil little cunt.
But to be fair, like even before he's like when he gets injured, Bobby's even like he's feels sorry for it straight away. He like goes up and apologizes.
He's the one that screams in his face, shouting, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
But
Yeah.
then afterwards,
Is that him?
when it's Johnny's fight, he's like, "Go, Johnny,
put him
kill
in
him."
put him in a body bag.
It's like, what the fuck, bro?
But I think again the fight scenes at the end does show like how like there is no bad students, only bad teacher, because it's John Kreese who's like injure him, take him out, sweep the leg. You know, do you have a problem? You have a problem with doing those things? And he's like, and Johnny has to go, no, sensei, because at the end he loses, and Johnny also he's won their respect. Johnny goes up to him, takes the trophy, and gives it to him, and goes, "You're all right, LaRusso."
Yes, another trope.
It felt cringy and it felt kind of random, but it was built up when they were slowly realizing that the guy teaching them karate is an absolute psychopath who doesn't really follow the teachers of martial arts in the slightest, who's just literally, I think he wanted to see death. I think that guy lives for blood.
No, you know who isn't interested in blood, but is just there to see her son. She might well wanted him in the body bag because she just keeps shouting, "Be strong!" He's just getting punched in the face, and she's like, "Be strong, be strong." His knee is disintegrated, and she's shouting, "Be strong, be strong!"
But
please.
it's actually quite fun because it's quite interesting the given his attitude, the martial arts he teaches as well. Because he teaches a Korean style of karate called Tang Soo Do, which is purely for being adaptable in warfare, whereas Miyagi-Do is not. It's like more realistic karate.
Sorry. Can you say that again? What type of karate does Mr. Miyagi teach him?
Miyagi-Do. It's Okinawan karate.
Miyagi-Do.
Miyagi-Do, okay. Or Okinawan karate.
Sorry, the pronunciation wasn't on the Wikipedia page James just read from.
No, it wasn't. No, it
Screen
wasn't.
rant.
No,
Screen rant, bitch.
It's really it's really interesting you say that, because so after he wins and Johnny passes LaRusso the trophy, it ends on a still frame of Mr. Miyagi of Pat Morita, which is a really cheesy way to end the film.
Yeah,
but I fucking love it.
Love the freeze frame.
Love it.
Love the freeze
love
frame
it.
ending. It felt like he should have.
Mwah. 80s. Mwah. But anyway, that's not the original end. There's another. They film another bit to the film, which is actually the start of the second movie. The start of the second movie, which was originally going to be at the end of this film, is a scene in the car park of John Kreese basically beating the shit out of his Cobra Kais for losing. And it's also really interesting about what you say about the type of karate he teaches, is because in Cobra Kai, it's actually all... Well, no, so it's actually alluded to a little bit in the third Karate Kid, but it goes so deep in Cobra Kai of how John Kreese becomes who he is and how he becomes a psychopath. It's so interesting, and this is why I say Cobra Kai is so good. Cobra Kai as a premise of a TV show has no right to be as good as it is, but it's amazing. And it's the same for this film. This film has no right to be... The premise of this film and the such a simple story has no right to be as good as it is, but it's fucking amazing.
Anyway, this feels like the perfect time to go into our takes. Just picking out the names from the big red box that I've got in front of me. It's big, it's red, it's got a number 7 on it. 7's lucky in China. Let's come up with James.
That's not what
you
we agreed.
You can go first. It is.
We
Can't talk about it. It's in the box. I just got it out of the box. The box never lies. Big, red's got a 7 on it. It's even got a little dragon.
I was excited to watch this film. As I've alluded to, there's not much to it in terms of beautiful camera work and cinematography at all. That's not what you're going into this film for. It is a cringy, cliche classic of the 80s. It's a teen drama with karate in it, essentially. That's all it is. A guy is gutted that he's no longer with a girl. She starts seeing someone else, so he beats the shit out of him, and then he's got to beat the shit out of him back. Wonderful, done. Bob's your uncle, great. Add a bit of random, what the West thought Asian mysticism was with Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, and I don't know, magic knee healing, very strange. And what you get is a really lovely film with a lot of heart. 2 hours long. You know, it's not something I think I just casually sit down and watch. I feel like I want something a little bit shorter it's a weekday night on a school night, a bit long, but on the weekend, on a Sunday night, especially if you've got kids, this is a great family movie. And it will teach your kids to go punch their bullies in the face. I think that's a great message. I really liked it. Really fun.
And I was going to say, again, the Three Takes of Stupidity does not condone violence.
Punch your bullies. Yeah, look, it's cringy, it is cliche, but it doesn't take away from a film with a lot of heart. I think Mr. Miyagi's backstory is really quite emotional and heartbreaking, and then the connection he finds with Daniel, who's had to move away, leave all his other family and friends. He's there with his mum, trying to make a life for himself, and ultimately he's just been sideswiped by these random group of karate Donny bullies is pretty brutal for your first week in a new place, halfway across the country, or all the way across the country even. But yeah, wonderful film. I would watch it again, and I'm curious about the sequels. I think I'd be more interested in watching Cobra Kai than actually any of the sequels. I've seen the Jaden Smith one. The kick hits way better in the Jaden Smith one, even though it's a way worse film. Because, yeah, the fights in this don't hit. That's my biggest critique. The fights do not hit. In an age where Bruce Lee had put out incredible martial arts films, yeah, not feeling like any punches hit is pretty rubbish. But still, good movie. Enjoyed it.
I will start my take with a sentence. In the United Kingdom, it was watched by 3.7 million viewers on TV in 2017. That's exactly what it is. It's a TV film now. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon, wholesome family film. I agree, there's a lot of tropes in it. In the same way when you probably watch Back to the Future, you're like, it's a lot of cultural references in there, because that's just what it is now. It's just ingrained in our culture. A lot of the wax on, wax off stuff. I already knew about wax on, wax off prior to the film. Like I said, I thought I knew that he lost. I was certain that he lost before watching this. I was actually almost bored at the end. I was like, this is the part where he loses, and it's all going to be emotional, and Mr. Miyagi's going to be like, you lost, but I love you. Thank you for the rub. But I was wrong. I think, yeah, tropey, it's nice. It tells kids to be safe at the beach. Don't fall over. It tells them to find balance. It's really funny, even though it's definitely not meant to be really funny.
Yeah.
It's meant to be really serious. But yeah, it also teaches kids to punch their bullies in the face. Chandler.
Ralph Macchio's Lionel Messi.
See, I'm going to say, I've already kind of said it earlier on. I disagree that again, watching this film 40 years after it's come out, I think, as Alex, you say, what this film does has become so ingrained in our culture that now watching it 40 years later, it's all cliche, when at the time it wasn't. So I don't think you can put the film down because of that. I think this film tells a really good story. Yes, it's a really simple story, but it's still a really good story with a lot of heart in it. There is a reason this film has not only had sequels, but it's created this whole universe around it, the Miyagi-verse, if you will, around it, that is still bringing things out to this day. Cobra Kai only finished this year. There is a new film in the cinemas as we speak, based starring Ralph Macchio and based on these stories. Pat Morita in it is incredible. He definitely should have won the Oscar that year for this portrayal. The whole film, I'm so glad we decided to do martial arts films. I'm so glad that I've come to rewatch this again. Me and my partner both love this film. Me and my partner are actually now going to start a rewatch of all the films, and
Nice.
then Cobra Kai again, which I'm really looking forward to. I'd highly recommend watching at least Karate Kid Part 2, possibly Karate Kid Part 3, and then Cobra Kai, James, before you watch Cobra Kai. So yeah, watch the first two sequels to this before you watch Cobra Kai. I love this film. I said it, whenever, 10 minutes ago. I think this film's amazing. I would happily sit and show this film to any of my family. It is a family film. I do think it's meant to be a little bit tongue in cheek. I do think some of the moments you guys find funny is actually meant to be funny. And that's why the film comes across really well.
Yeah, but I don't think I meant to find the crane kick at the end funny, and it's absolutely hilarious.
I love this film. I'm so glad I rewatched it. It brought a massive smile to my face. And yeah, everyone, if you've not seen it, or if you're using this podcast to see if you want to watch it, go watch it. It's amazing, and have fun with it. Like I say, it is a fun film. and you can just sit there for 2 hours and have a lot of fun watching it.
Just want to add something again to give this film massive credit for. And it's something that I found when I was doing my research for it. This movie was really big at the time for proving that a martial arts movie could be a wholesome movie for families. It was really important in that, because that's not how they were seen. They were seen as action movies, as the martial arts genre. So yeah, it allowed for martial arts movies to be seen by a wider audience, and also proved that they don't have to be an action film, and they can be full of heart and have a more grounded story.
And comedy.
And comedy.
Now then, we've waxed on, so now we must wax off. The next edition of the Karate Kid universe is out in cinemas, as Chandler said, so please, if you want to, illegally stream it online. Next up in the Martial Arts Trilogy, it will be my pick, Rush Hour. It's goodbye from Chandler.
Banzai!
It's goodbye from James.
Kanpai!
And it's goodbye from me, Sayonara. But before we leave you, we have to give you a very solid piece of advice. If you know any elderly neighbours, please go round and wax their deck. They might give you a car. Goodbye.
Don't forget to rate, review, and share the podcast. It really helps us grow. Follow us on all our socials, plus our individual Letterboxd accounts. The links can be found in the description at www.hopwithtwopies.bio/3takes, or search for 3 Takes of Stupidity on most platforms. Please send us your film and series suggestions on our Hop page, or to 3takesofstupidity@gmail.com. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.